What is going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning into the Move OTX channel today. Coming at you guys here from the southwestern shoreline area of the San Francisco Bay. It's been a while since I've done this hike. Thanks for coming along with me. I know it's been a while since I filmed it, so I'm going to take you guys out along these trails. We're going to hike out behind a little lake, and we're going to try and make it southward and take you guys behind Moffett Airfield, what used to be formerly Moffett Air Force Base, but it's been decommissioned, I believe, and they're still doing National Guard training with the C-130s. We might catch a glimpse of a C-130 overhead, although in this fog they might be kind of hard to see, but hopefully the fog will wear down a bit. So, as you can see, the trails are pretty crowded today. Everyone's enjoying the weather, and we're going to head on out this way. This time of year, the fog enters into the land areas much more frequently and kind of recedes and burns off in the daytime. I don't know what the name is of this lake, but there's a little restaurant right up here, coffee shop, and you can rent paddle boats and sea kayaks by the hour, I believe. So I don't normally do a day hike like this with a full day pack. I just don't really feel the need. Normally I'm just out here with the string pack and a couple water bottles, and that's pretty much it. But colder weather like this, I usually like to bring along a sweatshirt while I'm out here. And last time I did this hike, I got really tired and really hungry, and that was only after maybe 3.5 miles out, so I want to make sure I'm well stocked. Got some granola bars, some Fig Newtons, and a lot of water with me here today. Definitely don't usually do hikes like this with a hydration bladder, but carrying 3 liters with me today, so we're going to go for a long, flat distance here. Oh, I forgot to start my GPS, so let's do that here. All right, so there we go. We're tracking, and now we're online. So I don't think this really counts anyways. This is more or less the warm-up section of my hike. But it's beautiful out here today. Really warm too. Yes, I've got the do-rag, sporting the do-rag. Why do I wear a bandana? Well, I use it basically to soak up my sweat and protect my head. Shave what little hair is left, I shave off, and last thing I really need is a sunburn. Melanoma, sunburn, whatever. Yeah, I could wear a hat. I wear hats too sometimes. You guys have seen me wear hats lately in my videos, but today I figured I'd sport the do-rag. So we're here at the boat launch area, and we don't see a lot of people out on the water today. Here's the boat launch area where you rent gear and boats, helmets, life jackets, and here's the cafe. Alrighty, so we'll continue out on the trail. So that cafe usually gets really busy in the morning for sure, during breakfast hours, people having coffee, bagels. It's 11 o'clock right now, so we're past the breakfast crowd, and I don't think that's really a lunch crowd kind of a place. So I kind of took a wrong turn going back that way. I want to go this way to merge back onto the trail. Alrighty, so we're going to veer off the paved path. I think this path just continues to go around the golf course and all the way behind Shoreline Amphitheater in that area. So we're going to veer off the paved section of road and enter onto the dirt path here in a minute. So I was wrong, still paved, which is nice actually. But eventually this does dirt out up here. So that San Francisco Bay fog is starting to recede back a little bit. Skies are getting a little bit blue now, which is going to be nice. So that fog is kind of like the Bay Area's natural air conditioning. Keeps the temperatures down through the first half of the day, and throughout the rest of the day temperatures stay very, very mild this time of year. Alrighty, so we're just barely a mile and a half into our hike, and I got the trail all to myself. Nobody out here, maybe some cyclists every once in a while, but I think we're past the morning crowd. So cyclists and a lot of morning hikers, they get out at the crack of dawn. So we're past that crowd now. They've all come and gone. So it's kind of, the crowd is thinned out for sure. It's around 11:30 right now. So one thing I have to be cautious of is the tide changes. Theoretically, when the tide is higher, it could wash out some of this trail, but I think I'm okay coming back this way. Should be all right. It's a little wet here, a little damp here, but it should be all right coming back this way. I'm not going to be gone that long, honestly. Still though, this is a really, really cool part of the hike. Right along the water's edge here. So my altimeter says I'm at an altitude of 1 foot, give or take. Not bad. I would say that's about accurate. Maybe 1.5 feet above sea level. So we're coming up here on the backside of around Moffett Airfield. And you can't see it off in the distance there, but that's the old hangar dome. Don't know if you guys can see that from here through that fog. All right, so we've reached kind of an end point on that trail, and we have to cut inland a bit this way. Okay, and there's a bridge up there. I'm going to cross over the bridge and continue along the trail that way. So this is a really cool view of Mountain View area. Kind of wish the fog were burnt off, but I think all you guys can probably see is a silhouette of buildings and structures. Gotta really watch out for cyclists. I have no idea what that is. There's a ton of cranes and construction material, and it looks like a tarp or a cover, a fabric cover going over the dome structure. I have no idea what that is. So we're past Shoreline Amphitheater now. Shoreline is right over that way, just on the other side of those tractors on that hill. So we're past that. So no dogs on these trails. They do not allow dogs. Not even on a leash. So those of you who are caretakers for dogs, this is a trail that's off limits technically. I think they've had too many problems with dogs peeing and pooping and owners not cleaning it up. So if you notice in any section of this video, you're not going to see little bags of dog crap along the side of the trails. And that's the reason why. They do have rangers that patrol some of these trails. I've seen them on golf carts before, but they're not that common. So it's largely on the honor system. But I would imagine if they see you out here with a dog, they will say something. Not sure if you guys can hear that. The buzzing of the power lines, electricity. PG&E lines here throughout. Getting closer to our bridge. At the bridge, we're going to cross over this river marshy area. Really interesting building structures, construction zones back here. Stevens Creek Nature Study Area. No dogs, no horses, only hiking and biking. So I've got to make way and head all the way back here. It's kind of out, this bridge is really out of the way. They could have moved this bridge about a quarter of a mile farther down. That's all right. This is a really nice hike, just the same. Don Edwards, San Francisco Bay, National Wildlife Refuge. The signs look awfully old. But anyways, we're gonna go this way. I wish the clouds were thinner. You could see the backside of Moffett Airfield. Not sure what this is. Well, porta potty, obviously. What is this? Hunter check-in station. Oh, they allow hunting here? Holy moly. I never in a million years would have thought. Seems like such a foreign concept here in California. That explains what those, probably explains what those cars are doing out there. And that certainly explains the gunshots I heard the last time I was out here. So that's where we're going. Once again, I got the trails all to myself. Not seeing a whole lot of people out here. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad. It's not too breezy here. Usually this time of year it's really windy and my microphone audio is totally useless. So hopefully it's not too bad. I may have to turn on the wind noise reduction. So one thing I'm finding out, and I'm kind of relearning, I haven't done a hike with this day pack in so long. It's been at least a year or so. I just use a string pack, and I throw in all my stuff in a basic string pack, which I'll show you. Actually, I'll roll in some footage here, some images here to show you. But that's usually all I need. But this is like way more comfortable, and I'm really surprised. So one thing for sure, I've got the hip belt, the weight on my hip belt loosely, not super tight, but the other thing is a sternum strap. And with a sternum strap, and I knew this at one point, but I had forgotten this. With a sternum strap, I can tighten it or loosen it or take it off completely, and I can really distribute the shoulder load out left and out right on each side, and that really kind of prolongs the muscle fatigue on my lower neck and upper back areas, and I've forgotten how comfortable that really is. So yeah, I'm gonna probably start using my day pack more now with this new rediscovery. So look at where we are, guys. One thing's for sure, every time I'm along the water's edge and that white crusty foamy stuff is along the water's edge, it totally reeks. Smells like crap, like dead rotting seaweed and crap. With all the birds out there pooping and peeing in that water, that's probably basically what that is. So I'm getting a real, I wish you guys had smell-o-vision on YouTube. I'm getting a real contrast of smell. I got dead feces and crap water and fennel seed, I believe. Perfumey smell of aroma of fennel. And I go from one extreme to the other. One smell I really like, the other smell is like, ugh, kind of gross. So I'm just going to take this trail as far as I'm comfortable. So this is going to be an out and back hike. So I have to kind of monitor my body capabilities for that. It's all totally flat though, so it doesn't get any easier than this, really. And I think just being out on the water's edge with all the wildlife and having the trails to myself, it really takes your mind off everything else, really. I mean, you're just one with the environment. And this bay trail, my understanding, this bay trail goes all the way north, across the other side of the bay, past El Viso, and into the East Bay, all along the Northeast Bay areas as well. So, never done that before. Maybe one of these days I'll get to that point. But for now, we're comfortable doing the western half of this trail, western segment of this trail, I guess. Whew! Extra stinky over here. It's kind of scary if they allow hunting across these waters. Am I? Oh, I'm hearing gunshots again. It's kind of scary. Am I actually downrange here or no? Now, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but I hope I'm far enough out of range. Not sure how far I'm going to make it. That is a really long hike. Kind of wish I were on a bike instead of on foot. But oh well. Maybe one of these days I'll come out here with my bike. That's what I'll do next time, maybe. Alrighty, we're making our way. Still pretty stinky and pretty poopy. Not too bad. Really dry over here. I would imagine it's been a while since this area has seen a lot of water. But it's all coming and going with the tide. Hopefully that wind noise is not too bad. Definitely hearing shotgun blasts over there. That noise really travels. I'm not sure what they're hunting. Seems like a boring place to hunt. Just out across the water's edge. Doesn't seem very dynamic to me. I guess, maybe, I don't know. Alrighty, I'm seeing a bench up here. Here's where we're going to camp. This will be our landmark for this hike. And gonna stop and take a break, sip some water, snack on a granola bar maybe. Maybe a fig Newton, that sounds good. I haven't had fig Newtons in ages. And it looks like this makes a turn and goes back in that way. Goes inland, up that way for another mile or two and keeps going around the bay. All right, I'm gonna kick back here, rest up a bit, grab myself some food and a snack, and just enjoy where we are at. Look at where we're at, guys. I apologize for that wind noise if it is really bad. It's one thing about filming in field, I don't really have an audio monitor set up going. Nice. Alrighty, so we're gonna head on our way back. Resumed our GPS tracker. Getting some text messages here along the way. Altitude has now reduced down to minus 10 feet, and that typically happens with a barometric pressure based altimeter gauge. So this watch uses not the GPS radio, but it uses a barometric pressure gauge to extrapolate altitude. So any sort of weather pattern changes with reduced pressure result in altitude changes, either increased or decreased pressure. So I noticed it's getting really cold now, and the air is really kind of clammy. My hands are really kind of clammy feeling, kind of damp. And you can definitely see that, the fog through the air. So no doubt the temperature change and a slight change in weather pattern has altered the barometric pressure. A little windy too. Definitely windier now than it was earlier. Scummy skank water all along the way. So we're gonna head back. Still all smiles, feeling good, not tired at all. This is an easy stroll. Might want to do this on my mountain bike at some point, but nonetheless, I was hoping we'd see some C-130s taking off and doing their loop training. I'm not sure if they come out over the water too far. I think they do, actually. But I know a good part of their training loop is inland. Frequently fly over the skies of Mountain View and Palo Alto. Looks like rain, but those aren't rain clouds. That is just San Francisco Bay Area fog. The guys are hunting again. I'm not sure what they're hunting, but hunting pelicans? Isn't that endangered? I don't know. I can't say for sure. Even then, if you hunt something out here, what do you do with your kill? It really seems strange to me. I guess you got to go paddle out and get it. I guess you'd have to, right? I mean, if they're hunting birds out here, wouldn't we see dead birds along the shore? Alrighty, make our way back. Making our way. A lot of really interesting structures out here, like some things over there, a little tower structure over there, and a big tarp covered dome roof over there. I don't know what that is. Google, I think, is the biggest employer here in Mountain View. So we're back at that crossover bridge, and this looks too interesting for me to pass up. I'm not really into urban exploring or anything like that on my channel, but I want to go check this out and just see what this is all about. Need to do some research on this new building structure up here too. It's like a dome-shaped pyramid structure, which is really, really strange. And it looks like they're tearing down some buildings here. And oh, check that out, an old rusted out airplane over there. This looks like a scrap yard of some sort. Scrap and debris yard. Maybe for Moffett. An old bus, an old boat, and an old plane. Really cool. And a big concrete slab. NASA logos. Okay, so this is probably just scrap leftover materials from Moffett. Just a huge, massive construction site for whatever this is going to be. I don't know. I'll have to Google this and look this up. That's an amazing operation. Alright, very cool. Definitely, I think this is NASA property or Moffett or Ames, one of those three. Didn't think they had the money for this kind of expansion project, whatever this is. Very cool. So we came from back that way, and I'm going to hike back on this dirt trail. There's a lot of people on bikes over on this other trail, so I don't want to take that one. We'll just head on back that way. So I decided to take this low-lying trail in this water trench here. It's dry right now, but I would imagine in winter storm seasons it gets pretty full. And there's our bridge up across the way there, coming up. Red-tailed hawks circling overhead. Alrighty everybody, thanks for joining me today guys on this great 7.5 mile day hike around the Shoreline Park area, Mountain View, and behind Moffett Airfield actually. So my car is right over there. We made it back. That was about a 7.5 mile trek today. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. Please feel free to post comments, questions on anything you may have seen in my videos down below, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. Remember, everyone, stay safe out there, enjoy the outdoors, and I'll catch you guys later on the next one.